guno. I'm Ugandan, we mama wo mugaga. Atowoli mwavu tekibalwanya. Tuli banna Uganda, yaddosula mu katango yocha kasoliwo tocha wansiyo. You Ugandan, nebogende bulaya.
Welcome to Youth of Purpose. Happy Independence, by the way. My name is Ishimwe Kathy, and...
Why do you have to put by the way on independence? You say happy independence. Yes, happy independence. My name is Ivan Tumukunda, and welcome to the show. Where have you been?
I've been up and down.
And she comes from nowhere. She takes over. Vanangi Slayers. Chief Slayer is back, and I hope we are going to have a blast of a show.
Definitely.
Happy independence.
Happy Independence, Ivan.
How do you feel about being independent?
Oh, it feels good. The freedom, the peace, the unity. Damn, it's everything.
It's like that feeling that you get when you're being given freedom to go and have your own house, have your own room.
Peace.
Yes. You know,
movement, my own things. I don't have to decide what I want to do.
At that moment when your parents are like, okay, we believe now you have the capacity to be able to take care of yourself.
It feels good. It's the best feeling in the world.
Wow, amazing. Again, I say happy independence. Welcome to Youth of Purpose, a show that is here to inspire you as a young person, as a Ugandan, to be able to transform yourself and also contribute to Uganda's development. Now today, we are celebrating Uganda's independence, and we are asking how can we be able to protect Uganda's independence. As young people, we have the biggest population of over 77%, and therefore we do believe that we can capitalize on that to be able to contribute on protecting Uganda's independence. What do you think the young people can do to protect Uganda's independence?
To me, I feel they should be working together as one, simply because once we are working together, we're able to move to a different state, to another state. You cannot do things on your own. If you want to move far and faster, you need to have other people around you. And something else, I feel, as a country, if we do things together, despite the difference in culture, region, religion, we would move to another state if we're all together as one.
Oh yeah, basically almost every show I do remind people that, you know, we need to put aside the differences that we do have as Ugandans and focus on those things that, you know, do bring us together. And, you know, capitalize on that to be able to contribute to Uganda's development and make sure that our country moves forwards. And, you know, one of the biggest things that I do look at when I hear the word independence, I look at it in an ordinary way of someone being able to, you know, to support themselves, someone being able to put food on the table, someone being able to make a decision that can, you know, be able to improve their lives. We're going to be speaking to the National Secretariat of Patriotism Corps Commissioner, and he's going to be telling us about independence, and he'll be delivering his message about independence. What does he think the young people and Ugandans can do to protect Uganda's independence? Let's listen in to him. We'll be right back.
Hello, viewers. By the name Brigadier General Patrick Messenger, the Commissioner for Patriotism, Office of the President. Ugandans, our leaders, our people, and everybody, I wish you a happy independence, the 9th of October. I wish you good celebrations, but I also wish to remind you that to be independent means a lot, as I'm going to elaborate below. But what is important is that we got this independence and we must enjoy it and keep it. Because independence can as well be taken away by those who had taken it before. What is important to Ugandans is that we all be patriotic and love our country, love our people, and serve our people and care for them. Deliver the necessary services. Because without patriotism, it will be very, very difficult to attain our set targets, to attain our vision as elaborated in the Uganda Vision 2040. It is paramount, therefore, that we inculcate the values of patriotism in our people. Everybody, gets to love their country, to be proud of our country, to care for others, and so on and so forth. To be patriotic, ladies and gentlemen, really calls for every Ugandan to put in their best to serve Uganda, to have a heart and empathy for others, to have a heart for what belongs to us all, what we usually call the common good. As we celebrate this year's independence, let's learn to love our people. Let's not segregate our people depending on their regions, where they come from, their tribes, or their religions, or their gender, and so forth. Because every Ugandan matters. When you look at our people, they fall into two categories. They are either producers or consumers. Those who consume what the producers have available. And without consumption, those producers will not gain from their labor. It is very, very paramount that every Ugandan be viewed in that way, that we are all useful as producers and as consumers. We pay for what others have produced, and we benefit from what they have availed to us. Therefore, my message to you as we celebrate is unity, building harmony in our country, and having that purpose of the common good and the common vision, so that we transform our country from a peasant and backward society into a modern middle-class income. Second, ladies and gentlemen, when we talk of producers and consumers in Uganda, there are also these categories beyond Uganda. So when we say we love Uganda, we are talking about the 42 million Ugandans. But there is a need also to extend this love to the region, for instance, East African region. And know that when we produce in Uganda, we are producing for 2 million people. But if we produce for East Africa, we are producing for almost over 200 million people, and a GDP of over 230 billion US dollars. So therefore, we love Uganda, but also love the greater region of East Africa, and of course from the region to Africa, the expanded market, from the Ugandan market, the regional market, the African market. That's why our second pillar of our ideology is Pan-Africanism. As we celebrate, I want to urge every Ugandan to embrace patriotism as our first pillar of ideology, and shun ideological disorientation. Shun the deceivers. Shun those who deceive for the purpose of opportunistic gains. I want to call upon you, Ugandans, to be vigilant in maintaining the security that we have, because this security should not be taken. It was earned through sweat and blood. The blood was spent. Used because there is peace, but there are groups which are bent on taking away this peace that we are enjoying. Then, as we celebrate our independence, ladies and gentlemen, we need food security. You know, without food, there can never be harmony in society, and you cannot talk of greater security when people are hungry. When people are hungry, you cannot talk of peace. Hungry people always want to assert themselves in a violent manner. Then I urge you also to have a mindset of self-reliance. Self-reliance is important because it harnesses that inner capacity, the inner ability, the talents, the competences that are within individuals to produce what they have to produce. And shun the mindset of dependence, the dependence syndrome, that you cannot prosper when you are not helped, either by an individual or by government. So the mindset which is cropping up in our country of somebody should help me, government tuyambe, gundi atuyambe, kangende wa gundi, we should fight it because it is very, very counterproductive. The mindset of handouts is very counterproductive. Once citizens get used to handouts, then all their talents and capabilities are hindered. I also want to talk about the civic duties that every Ugandan, every citizen has their responsibilities and obligations. For example, we have a responsibility to maintain harmony in our communities. Let's discourage those who are creating disharmony, like those who are creating insecurity through cutting others, the Bijambia phenomenon, and stem those who are trying, to forestall the plans of those who are trying communities by killing other innocent people. Those who do robberies and so on. I want to also talk about citizens must have financial roaming around to start small businesses. You don't have to start big. Start small enterprises and grow them. Be focused. But the problem here is consumerism. We make some money, then we go spend it on weekends. We make some money, spend it on useless things. And then we go back to square one. I want to urge our youth, our young people, those who have finished school and those who have not been to school, please, before government comes in to help or any other person to help you, let them find you doing something. Leave the streets. Go somewhere, find something to do so that we can be helped wherever we are. Otherwise, if we don't do that, we risk losing the independence that our forefathers fought for and earned. So young people, let's work hard. Let's learn to manage our time. There is an assumption that when you are young, you have all the time in the world. You don't. You don't. Let me give you an example. By the time you finish school, you are around 24 and you haven't made any gain. And when you are in, so it's like you have lost 24 years in your life. When you are old, the last 20 years of your old age, you are not productive. Unless you are poor, you are rich and money is making money for you. Otherwise, you may die a destitute life. We don't have that time. And in our different stages of development, we waste time in different activities, some of which are usually like when we go for the karaoke, when we go for outings, when we go for what. Okay, you may think that you are going to relax, but there are people outside in outside countries who spend most of their time working to get out of poverty. There is time for sleep in Africa or Uganda here. We sleep almost a third of the day. That is squandering our time. So let's work, let's manage our time well. When we got independence, we thought we were going to govern ourselves, but the colonialists left strings attached. And even those African leaders, most African leaders, whom we think are our own leaders, are actually not independent. They are, they are being, driven by the neo-colonialist machinations from behind, giving orders and directing things here on the continent. We want a situation where Africa commands its affairs, where Africa commands its economy, where Africa knows where it is going and can determine its destiny without the interference of outsiders. We have seen this happen around. It's possible that we can be recolonized. Let's stop that by doing what I have already outlined and many other things, so that we guarantee our sovereignty and our national independence. Thank you very much. Happy celebrations.
Wow, welcome back. I love the way the commissioner has been talking about his country. I love the passion.
Oh yeah.
You see him being so excited and so happy about what's
there are
happening
things
in this
that
country.
get you emotional.
I know.
Whenever I'm talking about Uganda, defending Uganda.
I love the smile in his face, the way he's looking as he's talking about Uganda. He's really
and
proud,
you know how you look when you're talking about that, with a
because
smile.
it's my country. I
Basically,
love Uganda.
you know, there is a way I do feel when I'm talking about Uganda, the beauty of Uganda,
It's really
the love that I do
beautiful
have.
Country. It is something that you don't find elsewhere.
I just do pity people who are not proud of what Uganda is. As foreigners come to be proud of what Uganda is and
But
enjoy.
there's some Ugandans that are not proud of what we are
Exactly.
having.
I was
It is
watching
something so precious.
You know, I was watching a clip of an Indian trying to market the good that Uganda has, and I was asking myself, if all Ugandans that were getting these big platforms use the platforms to to promote the good about Uganda, Uganda really would be very, very, very far. Right now we're going to be listening in from young people. What do they think about Uganda's independence and how can they contribute to protect this independence?
Hello everyone, my name is Omnyoko Lydia from Makerere University, doing education second year, literature and English. I'm so excited about this independence since we are making 59 years of being politically, economically and financially independent. From 1962, when Uganda acquired her independence from the British colonialists led by Apollo Milton Obote, I can say we have been really independent. But then, to some extent, I would just only encourage the government to find ways of eradicating corruption, because that's what is retarding us behind. People are so corrupt in a way that it is making development so slow. And then I would also encourage the government to empower young girls, because in rural areas, young girls are not, I can say they are not independent. But then when they are empowered, at least we can say the country will be independent by then. And then I would also encourage the youth to engage in leadership, because we are the future generation and the future leadership comes from us right now. So with that, that will make our country to be fully independent.
I'm Tukundane Ivan, and I'm here to deliberate on the independence of we Ugandans. In the first place, I appreciate the independence that our leaders long ago helped us to attain. It is such a very good thing that they liberated us from neo-colonial leaders. However, I still have a feeling that we have not yet been fully independent, both economically and politically. And in my own sense, I feel that we can do better to become an independent country if we fight the high levels of corruption and reduce on the borrowing rate from the European countries. And if at all we put the resources borrowed into correct use, I feel we can begin our projects that are going to help us to be economically independent. Any country that is not having financial independence, it cannot celebrate its independence equally like other countries which have attained their financial independence. Normally, when you have financial issues and they are facilitating you financially, they will influence all projects of the government and all the sectors of the government. You cannot in any way think that you will be politically independent if someone is giving you a financial facilitation to help you capture or to help you facilitate your politics.
Hi everyone, my name is Tony Matthews Jr. I'm a young entrepreneur. I work with environmental conservation, different NGOs, Joint Energy and Environment Projects, Northeast Call Center, and the Green Ambassadors Club. Well, today we're talking about Uganda's independence. And as a young entrepreneur, I believe that everyone should focus more on the things that can actually help them grow. Because when Uganda gained its independence, it gave us freedom to actually work on the things that we need. It gave us purpose, it gave us an identity. So you can actually start your own thing and it's yours, like fully yours. You only have to own it and live up to it. I believe that people should, instead of focusing on things that don't matter like politics, who is supporting this, who is supporting that, people should try more on focusing on things that could maybe bring food on their table, like some small income generating activities, because since we gained our independence, you actually have it. I mean, they gave you the chance to own it. You can have it because you're independent, it's yours. I mean, you're a Ugandan, so you can actually have your own business, you can have your own home. But before that, it is either for a king or the government or maybe the whites. But right now, you have something that protects you. You have a constitution. The independence came with a lot of things. It came with the law, it came with very many things that can protect you and yourself. So I believe that we could use this chance as Ugandans to build ourselves and make our country a better place. If we decide to start actually working hard and building our own businesses and eliminating the mentality of, government yetuyambe and all those other things, because we have the ability to work. We can actually do this ourselves. We have everything that we need in order to achieve all those other things. I mean, what do the rich people have that we don't have? Not all of them were born into this type of wealth. They had to work for it. So I believe that if we all work hard and towards particular goals set, we can achieve anything and we can make our country better.
59 years ago, Uganda attained her independence. And personally, that is something to be happy about and optimistic about, because this independence did not come miraculously. This independence came as a result of hard work, dedication, commitment, sweat, blood and tears that our forefathers invested in for us to attain this independence. On that night, when the Union Jack was being put down and the flag of Uganda, like you can see in the background, of black, yellow, red, was put up there, that was a monumental time in the history of our great nation, because then it was the official declaration of Uganda managing her own affairs without the direct intervention of colonialists as was previously. So one of the reasons that I'm very excited about this moment is the fact that for you to be declared independent, that means that you have by default been given all the powers and tools to run the state, the affairs within your state independently. Yes, I am happy about that. However, from the youth perspective, I think there is still a lot of things that are yet to be finalized. There is still a few screws to be tightened here and there as regards to the independence of us, the citizens of Uganda. Because now when we talk about the independence, we were given the independence, but the million-dollar question is, are we in position to defend our independence against the interests of imperialists or any other person or community or ideology that could come and act as a threat to our independence. My question is, we are not yet fully there, but I want to look at this in the perspective of the glass is half full, not half empty. Why? Because if you look at the growth trajectory of our country from the onset of when we attained our independence, we have grown in leaps and bounds in terms of the economic growth, GDP per capita, and also the infrastructure development. If you look at it, the quality of health, the quality of life that we are living, we are not yet there, but it's very much more better than it was back then. But also, most importantly, for power to be given back to us, the Africans, the Ugandans, to run our affairs was a big statement, and that is something that we should not take for granted. And that is something that we have to defend with every ounce of energy within our bodies, minds, and souls. In this new day and age, some of the independence that we have to talk about is in the face of COVID-19 pandemic. How independent are we as Africans, as Uganda, in aspects of COVID management? How do we attain our own vaccine? How do we dictate and drive our own agenda without the interference of imperialists? I'm still very hopeful that our independence as a country has to trickle down to be independence for communities, independence for sub-counties, and independence for our own selves on an individual basis. I thank you all and happy celebrations today.
Well, I love the way the young people are being involved. They're like doing different things to make sure that they're trying to learn the different things. They just know about their country, and they're willing to take part in whatever that is going on to protect whatever they're having, the independence, the peace, the round.
Definitely, the fact that you know, the young people, the youth, are the biggest population in this country. There is nothing that can be done substantially without them being involved. We do believe that from all those opinions of the young people, from the Commissioner of the National Secretariat for Patriotism Corps, you have been able to learn how you can be able to contribute and also protect Uganda's independence. It doesn't matter the political parties that you're in, it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter the region you're coming from or even your tribe. We are all
just
Ugandans.
A small contribution that is coming from you in your own category, it really matters. It carries a lot of value.
And I do believe that when we all come and be together and all put a brick to making sure that Uganda is protected, Uganda will become better and better by day. My name is Ivan Tumukunde.
My name is Ishimwe Kathy, the Queen Slayer.
Queen Slayer here. We do thank you so much for watching Youth of Purpose and for supporting us. Now, we can continue the conversation and celebrating our independence on our social media platforms. We're on Twitter, Youth of Purpose. We're on Facebook, Youth of Purpose. And on YouTube, get us on UBC TV. Watch all our previous episodes. And if you want to also feature on this show, get the number right on the screen and reach us out, and we'll be able to invite you to also feature on this show. See you next time.
Bye.
Youth of Purpose, brought to you by